You're probably wondering how I got here. As the case with most stories, we need to go way, way back. Not way, way back more than that. Way further back than that. Gotta keep going. And we're here.
I don't care if nobody said this wouldn't work. I know somebody said this wouldn't work. It's not working well, but... Hey, there it is.
Now, technically, this wasn't where the project started, but this did tell me the bike was salvageable. It could run, it would run, and everything else it needed was just time and parts. And boy, was it a lot more time and parts than I wanted it to be. So we'll go down the list. All the brakes were completely seized up when I got it. The next thing it needed was tires, because they were gone and old and dry rotted. A battery, go figure. It needed the fork seals replaced, the switches weren't working, some of the lights weren't working, and the other accessories, it had little 12-volt cigarette lighter ports. And then to the small stuff, it needed the gas tank cleaned out, it needed the leather on the seat covers redone, it needed the carbs synced up because they were completely out of sync. Very simple carb job with this bike. Other than that, everything else was kind of a nightmare. Alright, I just realized I'm fighting this thing for no reason. This is the part that actually pops out. So, let's try it. We're gonna do it. You know what? I need to hold it for you. There we go. Ooh, okay. Ooh, that's cookie. Alright. And it smells. Ugh. Oh, we're dripping. Hang on. Drip in the bucket. That's good enough. You guys can see all of our goodies here. So up here we have all these parts that I don't know the name of. We're just gonna try this again. Oh, there it goes. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Bad place to put your hand. Don't put your hand above it. Ow. Okay. Whew, that hurt. Hey, look at that. Wheels off. All right, I get you want a bike to look nice, but too far. Too far, Honda. These were seized on there. Thanks. Okay, that was kind of a pain, but I think I got it loosened up. Anywho, I'm gonna get this pin and cable back on my throttle wheel, which is gonna be probably a French and a half. So I'll see you guys in 20 years when I get that. So now that you've all seen a little bit about the bike, this next clip is going to be the proper intro for the videos to come. I hope you all enjoy and stay tuned for more. This is gonna be fun. What's up, guys? Someone else. Alright, so what I got here is a 99 Honda Valkyrie. I'm pretty excited. It's taken me a long time to find one of these bikes in any sort of like reasonable pricing, but it does need a ton of work. All the brakes were seized. The front left wasn't, but all the other brakes were seized pretty much. Back ones I'll show you. That's what they both look like. So if that says anything. Now it has 67,000 miles. Previous owner, he's a cool dude. I kind of feel bad for him. He had an unfortunate situation where he couldn't store it anymore, and he couldn't really ride it anymore at the same time. So, he, he's just trying to get rid of it. Went out there. I planned on giving him about $1,200 for the bike, which I think I would have been okay with, considering how much these bikes are. But ended up talking him down a little bit lower to $1,050, and he was good with that. Signed the tile over and everything. So as far as the work goes, I'll kind of show you guys. The carburetors, I believe, are functioning, and the choke is functioning. I'll show you guys that. It's a little bit lazy, or it's just not going down all the way, but it does work, so that's something. The bike does run. I didn't get it to run on its own gas, so I got a couple of theories. I'll talk about that in a minute. It's got some damage. It needs grips because this got damaged. This needs to be replaced so that I have a bolt here again, which it's not really hurting anything. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that. Maybe I can just adjust this cable and it'll be all right. But I bet if I move it, there we go. So it kind of has a little bit of play. It has a lot of stuff on it. It has a Corbin seat front and back. It does need to be reupholstered, as you can see here, and that's the only damage on the seats besides like where it's just fading and chipping off. Now I can get some conditioning and like paint and make this look good again. But this, I am gonna have to, I'm gonna actually cut it right here on the seam, keep this back part, but replace this front with new leather, possibly new foam if this is awful, but we'll see. The seat didn't feel bad. The foam didn't feel bad, so I think it's just from sitting, but we'll see about that. Back one's pretty good. It has a couple of little spots here and there, but nothing crazy. That'll condition out, and it'll be fine. No tears in it or anything. Carbon seats, they're extremely expensive. And I contacted them. I asked them if they sell the leather. They said no, they don't sell any like parts for the seats to reupholster them. So that's kind of obnoxious, but is what it is. I'm just gonna have to do it myself. They wanted to charge like $1,200 to reupholster everything. I'm like, that's way too close to the price of a new seat. It needs all the fluids changed, the brake fluid especially. Oh, I'll show you guys that. So this was $1.50, but all the brakes were seized. And so the rear caliper is the worst. This looks terrible. The front ones I haven't looked at. Let's take a look at that. I did take them off because it wasn't seized on this side, but it was seized on the other side. See, we still got a little bit of pad on that. So I'd imagine the other front one looks about the same. But these calipers aren't, or at least this one, isn't seized. I don't think the other one is either. Let's take a gander. Yeah, no, it's not seized. Well, it's stuck out, but yeah, new pads all around, which are fairly cheap. It does need a ton of cleaning. It has some surface rust in a lot of places. The guy did lay it down at one point, so this has pretty bad road rash, but it's not rusted. This bolt is stuck in there and needs to come out, so that'll be fun. And it has road rash on the very edges, which are covered up by these highway pegs. So that's gonna be a wire wheel and some sanding. And this, I don't know. This is bubbling. I don't actually know why this is doing that. I don't know if I can get rid of that. That might just have to be recoated. I'll have to see what I can do with those. But I did play around. The pipes are pretty dirty on both ends. However, this part, which you can see, which is like there's dirt on it, but it's pretty shiny. And this same thing, it's dirt, but it's shiny. I actually use 0 grade steel wool, and you guys will see me use this quite a bit on a lot of chrome. That's after rubbing this on it for a couple seconds. And it got all the surface rust out. It's just, you can see the scratches. So I've used that on this, but it did look like that. We can get everything shiny again. It's just gonna take a while. And I have some polish, some chrome polish. The only thing that concerns me, I'll show you guys the inside of the tank here. I've had experiences with this already before, but that is the inside of our tank. So we're not looking too hot in there, but it's not nearly as bad as my Magna was. So we're going to give it a shot at cleaning that up. I don't see any pinholes, nothing's been leaking. So hopefully we'll be good on that. And let me get this back in focus. So I removed the brakes, removed the tank, which is a little interesting. It actually, the fuel shutoff valve is actually like built into the bottom of the tank, or attached to the bottom of the tank instead of being attached to the bike, like on my Magnas. But similar setup, it's gravity fed. There's your fuel line, which probably needs to be replaced, which goes down into... that actually looks like it has a filter on it, but I'll show you guys. If you can see. Here we go. Goes down to that little black cylinder looking thing, and then down to the carbs where it splits up. So all that looks like it works. I have these covered up, but everything looked good. The air filter, there's the cover, and the filter has been swapped to a K&N. This foam pad looks pretty decent. It's not horrible. The K&N filter also isn't horrible, but it could definitely be cleaned up and oiled. So there's that. And I've taken off all the basic stuff. The tank comes off. You got to take this off and undo all the lines. You have 2 vent lines and then the fuel line going to the tank. And then after taking this petcock off on the side, which is just the screw right in there. Undo that. You undo this bolt, which is attached to the frame right here, and that'll come off. And then, of course, you have eight? You have 8 screws that hold this cover on. I'll actually put that back on for now. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, and the battery. So actually, his battery was dead. He said it would crank over, but it wouldn't start. That was his original issue with this bike. And I went out there with the intention of doing a compression check and trying to get it to start, which I did. And it ran on starting fluid. It just didn't run from the tank. But what was weird is that after the starting fluid, after it should have dissipated, maybe all of it didn't yet. When I was cranking it to test compression, so I had all the spark plugs pulled on that side. It actually ran off of these cylinders for a little while. And everything sounded good. No ticking, no clicking, no clanking, no nothing. I let it idle for a second on starting fluid. Gave it a rev up to about 2,500-ish RPM. I didn't want to go crazy because it just started up, but I just wanted to hear it, and everything sounded good. So, bought it. Yeah. So the plan is, I'm going to do all the fluids, the brakes, figure out what's going on here to get it back on the road. I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and order a new shutoff valve. I'll show you guys what that looks like, because it goes off a vacuum. Probably replace some of the vacuum lines. But the Valkyrie uses the same kind of shutoff valve as this one, but it's a little bit smaller. But basically it takes vacuum from the engine, from one of your cylinders, and puts it into a diaphragm and allows fuel to pass through this passage. But yeah, first step, I'm going to order some brakes. The fork seals are done for. Well, okay, this side is done for, but I'm going to go ahead and do both of them. You can see all the leakage, and they sound absolutely horrible. I'll give you guys a listen on that. Some of that is the calipers knocking around, but the clank is this. So, done my research. Those got to come off. Seals actually aren't too expensive for that. It's just going to be interesting for me to do that because I've never done that before. That's got to happen. Fix all these little things. Probably get these lights working again. The guy unplugged them, but I'll probably take a look at the wiring, make sure everything looks good on that. I need to get this light working. So, yep.
Yeah, apparently I was too lazy to do an outro for this video, but I'm too lazy to do one now, so it is what it is. See ya.